Officers came here preparing for a hostage situation. Several of them got into position. A male came to the front door. As he came to the front door, one of our officers discharged his weapon. That male, 28 years old, was transported to a local hospital where he was pronounced dead at 7:03 this evening.
My name is Lisa Finch. My son, Andrew Thomas Finch, was murdered by WPD officer Justin Rapp a year ago today.
Show your hands! Walk this way! Walk!
On December 28, 2017, Tyler Barriss made a phone call to the Wichita Police Department where he claimed he had shot his father and was holding his mother and his siblings at gunpoint after dousing the house in gasoline.
Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
They were arguing and I shot him in the head and he's not breathing anymore.
Okay, so what's going on right now? Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, do you have any weapons on you?
Yeah, I do.
The call had originated in Los Angeles, California by Tyler Barriss. He had indicated that he had shot his father in the head and that he was holding his mother and brother hostage.
I'm just pointing the gun at them, making sure they stay in the closet. It's my mom and my little brother.
Okay, is there any way you can put the gun up?
No. Are you guys sending someone over here? Because then I'm definitely not going to put it away.
Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and stay on the phone with you, okay?
He later also indicated that he was dousing the house in gasoline and was going to set it on fire.
Yeah, I'm thinking about, because I already poured gasoline all over the house. I might just set it on fire.
Okay, well, we don't need to do that, okay?
In a little bit, I might.
Why would you do that?
Do you have my address correct?
The call came into City Hall, not 911. The call was redirected to dispatch. The call was lost. Call again came through City Hall, not 911. Was rerouted to dispatch. There have been reports made of people who were listening to their scanners at the time that dispatch alerted all officers that this call did not come through the 911 system, that there was something strange going on from the beginning.
Hours before Barriss made the calls to Wichita, Casey Viner in Cincinnati was playing Call of Duty online with Shane Gaskill in Wichita, Kansas. Now, Viner and Gaskill were on the same team and there was a $1.50 bet at risk, but at some point the two got into an argument. 10 days before, Viner had actually been swatted by Barriss, so he decided following his argument with Gaskill that he would see if Barriss would swat Gaskill. Barriss agreed, and he started following Gaskill on Twitter to gather the necessary information to be able to pull the swatting. Gaskill gave an address that him and his family were evicted from 1 year prior. That address happened to be the Finch family's house at 1033 West McCormick.
Show your hands! Walk this way! Walk!
By 6:23 p.m., Wichita police had the Finch house surrounded. 7-year veteran to the force, Officer Justin Rapp was positioned 44 yards away from the front door behind a pickup truck armed with his AR-15. Meanwhile, inside the house, the Finch family had no idea that the police believed there was a hostage situation going on inside their house. Nor did they have any knowledge of what had happened online between Barriss, Gaskill, and Viner just hours prior.
My son had gotten up because there was a noise in the alley. There was a pothole in this alley, and when a car ran through it, it made a noise, and he was getting up to check to see if somebody was there for the kids being the 2 children by my deceased daughter. And Andy was shot within 7 seconds of going to the door. He was shot inside the house.
The officers surrounded the home, believing that there was a hostage situation. Andrew had been sitting on the couch, heard a noise, opened the front door. It was dark outside at that time. He opened the front door to a lot of police presence, lights, flashing lights, people yelling from all different directions. In 7 seconds, he lay bleeding to death in the entryway of his home without treatment for 45 minutes.
Body camera footage shows us that multiple officers were yelling multiple commands at Andrew in those 7 seconds from multiple directions.
348 to 260. Reference is called.
Good. We got the front door open.
Shut it! Walk this way! Walk!
260, we got shots fired. 1 down.
Officer Rapp claimed that he saw Andrew reaching for his waistband and feared that he was going to shoot at officers to the east of the house. In Sedgwick County District Attorney Mark Bennett's report on the shooting, Officer Rapp claims not once but twice that he thought he saw a gun in Andrew's hand. Months later, when Officer Rapp testified against Barriss, he claimed that he did not see a gun in his hand. Along with Officer Rapp's conflicting stories, 12 other officers on the scene that night, 3 of which were Sedgwick County deputy sheriffs, did not see a gun in Andrew's hand. Even Officer Rapp's partner that night, that was positioned right next to him, said that he did not see a gun in Andrew's hand. Many of the officers claimed that it looked like Andrew was trying to go back inside of the house.
Look at the candles out there.
I don't know, they were here. I took a picture of them.
Oh. It really makes me feel good that this many people care about it. Okay. See right here? This is his blood. He was not shot outside.
After Andrew was shot, he was left to bleed out in the entryway of the Finch's home. Wichita Police Department Chief Gordon Ramsey would admit that there was an ambulance on scene, but it was told to stay back, despite the fact that police officers were on the phone with Barriss for 16 minutes after Officer Rapp shot Andrew.
Well, I can answer this question. The ambulance was there. There was an ambulance there that was there before that even happened.
Then why was he laying there bleeding out for 20 minutes?
So I don't know the timeline on how long he laid there for, but keep in mind the swatter was still on the phone with the 911.
When he was shot, so then we know that he wasn't the swatter, or he wasn't the caller, so why is he still laying there dying?
And we know that there was no gasoline smell.
Why is he laying there dying? It wasn't the police shot that killed him, it was him laying there dying.
We're getting into specifics, but I'll tell you this. The guys were trying to figure out how they could get him off without them having to go out in the open.
As Andrew lay dying and police continued their conversation with Barriss, his family was treated like criminals. His 17-year-old niece, Adelina, was forced to step over his body as he gasped for air. The entire family was forced outside in the freezing cold before being taken downtown for interrogation.
The cops saw me walk by and told me to come out with my hands up. They handcuffed me, and my granddaughter, my 17-year-old granddaughter, who witnessed the shooting, and my other roommate. And they left us out in the cold for a while. Then they put us in the car because we were out there barefooted, no jackets, nothing. They put us in separate cars, and then we were eventually taken downtown for questioning.
We have several people downtown, several officers, and at least 4 people from the residents that are downtown as well. So we have to conduct those interviews. There's going to be a lot of information to process.
Given the evidence provided to the officers by dispatch, coupled with Mr. Finch's physical movements after opening the door, there is insufficient evidence to establish that Officer 1 acted in an unreasonable manner in the defense of the officers directly to the east of the house. There is insufficient evidence to overcome self-defense immunity under Kansas law. So under Kansas law and the facts of this case, I conclude that no charges will be filed against the officer for the death of Andrew Finch.
The district attorney, Mark Bennett, decided after 4 short months to not charge the officer. This was without speaking to the officer, Justin Rapp.
Mark Bennett gave a surprise press conference. He had the streets blocked off and made a big production of his big announcement that he had completed his investigation into the shooting of Andrew Finch by WPD officer Justin Rapp, and that he had decided that no charges were going to be pressed, and that the shooting was justified. And now we learn that he never interviewed Officer Justin Rapp. So how do you complete a murder investigation without ever once in a year interviewing the murderer?
Sir, I'm holding in my hand a waiver of extradition form. Do you recognize this document?
Yeah.
Did you read and understand all of the information contained on the form?
I did.
Very well.
With Officer Rapp cleared of any wrongdoing, Barriss essentially became the fall guy for Andrew's murder. Barriss would end up taking a plea deal for 20 to 25 years in jail, while Officer Rapp only received a paid leave and got to keep his job with the Wichita Police Department. But Barriss wasn't the only fall guy in this situation. 3 days after Officer Rapp shot and killed Andrew, Officer Dexter Betts shot a 9-year-old girl in the face while trying to shoot a 40-pound English Bull Terrier named Chevy. Betts was one of many officers to respond to a mental health crisis. A husband had threatened to kill himself and the wife called 911. The couple waited outside for police to arrive, and at some point Betts decided he was going to go inside to retrieve a gun from the bedroom. While retrieving the gun, Betts claimed that Chevy charged at him and he fired 2 rounds at the dog. Betts missed the dog, and one of the bullets hit the ground and sent shrapnel into a 9-year-old girl's face.
Okay, got a dog inside here too. Whoa, whoa! Whoa! Get up! Get back! Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out!
Officer Betts, who was fired and charged, he had fired his gun inside a house, and a bullet fragment had ricocheted off the cement floor and grazed the side of a white child's head. At first, he was charged with, he put somebody in the position to where harm, bodily disfigurement, or even death could occur. And that is exactly what Officer Justin Rapp did to my son. Why is Rapp not being charged the same as Officer Betts?
Many believe that Officer Betts was used as a tool to show the public that the Wichita Police Department does punish their officers, even though they were protecting Officer Rapp while they made the decision to go against Betts.
Officer Betts, the news of him being fired, I believe, came minutes after the Daily Hayes named Officer Justin Rapp as the shooter. And so that was nothing more than a way for them to get your attention off of Justin Rapp killing Andrew Finch.
It's been a little over a year since Officer Justin Rapp killed Andrew Finch, and the family still grieves as if it was yesterday. The response from city leadership has been practically non-existent. Mayor Jeff Longwell has all but ignored the family, despite Lisa frequently attending city council meetings.
A year later, no apology, nothing. Nobody has addressed any of us in the family. No apology from anybody. Nobody that should have reached out has. The mayor and city officials have not handled anything. They made no attempt in any way to address this.
The city still hasn't been held accountable. The police still haven't been held accountable. The family has not stopped suffering and just begun new suffering with the first Christmas without Andy and the first of many.
The impact that this has had on the family is devastating. And I'm not talking brother, sister, mom, dad. I'm talking cousins, aunts, grandparents. There's just a void that will never ever be filled by anything or anyone.